Cheerio. So, I really don't even know what to say. I was on the fence with the pregnancy being real. Now I'm 100% positive the pregnancy was not real. I've been pregnant. I never had those little lumps in there. It was very odd how she was so nimble and just able to move around. Thank you. Piper was on my seat, and you can't move a cat. Sorry. She wasn't connected to anything. She gained 65 pounds, remember, but I don't know where she gained that 65 pounds. Definitely not in that fake baby bump. I'm pretty sure, confirmed, that she owns a moon bump now. I've posted a picture where January 5th, she's got this gigantic bump. And then January 13th, she has a normal-sized bump for the stage. Oh, there's Piper right there. This is the cat that I found on a golf course. I couldn't move like that. Claimed that she had 2 epidurals. Okay, once you have an epidural, you're not allowed to get out of the bed. She's not connected to anything. I haven't gotten to the dance yet. It just doesn't... She's not wearing a hospital gown. There's many things. I mean, she looks fabulous. I went into labor and I didn't look that great. Oh, that's right. She's not in labor yet. I didn't look that good even prior to labor. Why is she taking a video? Okay, so first off, I can't imagine myself even doing that. Isn't she 40-something? But the last thing I would do is post it. I'm embarrassed for her. I hope Parliament gets those 4 out of the line of succession, all of it. I don't believe it. I'll try to remember to put it in the description. There's a channel, it's called TandT, and it's TeaandTherapy. She lives in Sussex, as a matter of fact. She's talking about many conspiracies, and, a lot of people think that Harry had Archie, he had an affair, and that woman did get pregnant, and so Meghan pretended she was pregnant, and then she ended up adopting Lilibet just recently, in December or something. There's a law that you can't put photos of your adopted children out for 6 months, and now it's been 6 months, and she's suddenly to put all these photos out. I don't know about that, but she's definitely, I originally said there's no way in hell she'll change her last name to Spencer, because what's Megan Spencer? However, little Betty's middle name is Diana, and so she'll just drop the first name. Out of respect for the Queen, we have decided that we don't want to use that because the Queen was upset. However, when we spoke to her about it, she said it was fine. But she's an older lady, and I'm not sure she was, really in her right mind. Remember, the Queen said that castles aren't mine, the jewels aren't mine, nothing's mine except for my name. So, out of respect for the Queen, Betty will save her first name just for legal documents. She's now going to go by Diana. So what will her name be? Diana Spencer. Oh, goodness. Harry gave that... Remember, I'm just so upset and frustrated. She made an absolute fool of herself. Okay, Harry gave that interview to the BBC recently, after he lost his court case. Has Harry forgotten that the BBC are the same people that forged documents that made Diana think that her security team was following her or taking notes and stalking her and telling the palace what she was doing, when in reality they were not. The BBC has admitted that they forged all those things. Diana dropped her security, her royal security, because of those forged documents. She got in the car that night with the drunk guy. She didn't wear a seatbelt. Had she worn a seatbelt, she probably would have had a bruise or 2. You saw the back of that car. There was nothing wrong with the back of that car. And she would have been held there and not, she probably had a concussion. But did I tell you about the time I walked through that tunnel? My husband and I, we walked through the tunnel. And the tunnels, the little walkways, it looks like it's the size of a sidewalk when you're up top. When you get down in there, it's only about this big. But once you're in there, you have to go out. I mean, you can't even turn around to get out. We did see the pole, and you could still see the scuff marks from the car. But someone screamed, "Dumb Americans!" But I carved my name up top above the bridge. You know, above the bridge is the flame from the Eiffel Tower. But I carved my name in it. And then about 2 years later, we went back to Paris, and I looked, and I found my name. So that was kind of cool. But anyway, so Harry's giving the BBC this interview. The BBC, the same ones who forged the documents that made his mother drop her royal security. And royal security has said multiple times they would never, ever have allowed her to get in that car with Henri Paul, I believe was his name. Never allowed it. Netflix was probably a little annoyed that he did that, because he could have gone with Netflix with a camera right in front of him and said all of that to those people, and then Netflix could have come out with a special interview with Prince Harry. No, he didn't do that. So that made Netflix mad. There's no confirmation that Prince Harry's wife is getting a third season. I mean, she has no talent. You know, her husband, the one that she mailed the wedding rings back, he was the one that got her the job on Suits. Well, then she didn't need him anymore, and she was being written off that season. That was her last season. So, you know, she used the Soho House for connections. She paid, I'm quite gassy. She paid $4,000 initiation, and then $450 or $495 monthly fee. People talk about how someone's trying to figure out how much she was worth when she met Harry. Well, not as much as you think, because she spent a lot of money on PR. You know, she did a commercial for some store that's probably not as nice as Nordstrom, but it's not Kmart or Walmart. Actually, no, it's probably more of a Nordstrom, just a little lower than Nordstrom, maybe a JCPenney, something like that. JCPenney or Sears. And she did a commercial for them, and she had so many stinking stupid demands. But her agency, now she's represented by WME, which I'll get to in a moment, her agency got her that commercial. It's not like the English form of JCPenney said, "Oh goodness, we want Meghan Markle. She's so beautiful, and she's probably 43% Nigerian." Garbage. If she were 43% Nigerian, her kids would have darker skin, and none of them would have red hair. And at one point, these little kids that they were renting each had bright red, cherry red hair. Oh my goodness. No, they did not. If you have a son with red hair, I don't really feel this way anymore. But the first time I got pregnant, I was so worried that my son was going to have red hair. And I know that's terrible. But now that I'm 50-something, I'm 54. I'll be 55 this year. It doesn't bother me at all, and I think red hair is beautiful. But when I was 20-something, I did not. What a snot I am. But some of those photos, bright red hair, it's impossible. I looked it up. I posted it on X a couple times. Red hair never, ever can dominate. So it's not just a one-off or a two-off that their kids got red hair. Okay. WME. Apparently that's one of the biggest PR nations in the country, because I care. You know, she has to pay them. They don't go to her and say, "Hey, we would like to represent you." She goes to them. And it wouldn't surprise me if she's paying them $10,000 a month for them to represent her, you know. And I don't know if she has to pay an initiation fee, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know what, I'm going to write a note to remind myself. Cost? You know, that little girl, Blake Lively, the one that doesn't know how to dress to save her life, she also uses Ray Charles as her stylist. She's represented by WME. So there's some of their clients have had a bad few weeks. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, he's also represented by WME. I will try to look up that initiation. Okay, I'm going to close this with this. The dance, so embarrassing. Again, impossible, being 9 months pregnant. And she claims she was a week overdue. If she's a week overdue, she's over 40, so she's a high-risk pregnancy, they would have induced labor. They would not have allowed a 41-something-year-old woman go a week past her due date. They would have induced labor. High risk, high risk. What was my whole point? Oh, she couldn't do those moves. But at one point, she's like reeling Harry in. It's vulgar. And then she squats and lifts her dress up all the way almost where her privates are exposed. And it's doing this. That's vulgar. And something else, her children are going to see all this. And they're going to be humiliated and embarrassed. They'll also possibly be a little bit annoyed that their grandfather was the King of England. And I call Camilla their grandmother. She was the Queen of England. And they never, ever got to go there. Buckingham Palace. Wow. Kensington Palace. She'd probably get the little I'm allowed pass. And Hagen. I've called them Mary, and now I'm calling them Hagen. I like Hagen better. Harry and Harry's wife, Hagen, took that from them. She has a grandfather living in the slums in some other country, Meghan's father. You know what, though? Think about this. You know Meghan's father has been approached multiple times to write a book about her. And apparently he's dirt broke. Yet he has not done that. And a book where we'll give you $100,000 advance. It could change his entire life. Yet he has not done that. So he obviously has more class than she does. And I have to wash my eyes. You know, that little TandT woman, she said, I'm going to have to bleach my eyes. Oh, wait, don't do that. You know, I don't want someone... I am going to have to wash my eyes. Horrendous. Horrific. Okay, ladies, just a question that I know nothing about. If you can recommend an eyelash stuff, what's that called? Oh, mascara. Oh, I sound like Hilaria. What do you call this in English? Oh, mascara. Tell me a mascara. I'm trying to work on all this, and I really am clueless. So tell me a good mascara to use. If you're still watching right now, you know I'm shocked. God bless you. God bless America. Toodaloo.